Hi, I'm Amy Baxter, editor of Retail Leader, and welcome to Trend Talk. Every week on Trend Talk, we chat with an industry expert about ongoing retail trends and news. My guest this week is Braden Jones, CEO of Orbit Baby. So welcome, Braden. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
So as we're talking, it's May, but I'm just kind of curious, what's top of mind for you for 2022, and what are you thinking about as CEO for this year?
I think the biggest thing for us is just, and it has been last year, and it continues, I think is going to continue actually into 2023, is supply chain issues. And it's super boring. I wish it was more exciting than that, but that's just where we are right now. And we have, and it's a kind of a different, every month tends to be a little bit different of a supply chain issue. And so we're just trying to figure that out and deal with those things as we come and try to get experts to help us figure it out. So right now, I mean, we're dealing with raw material issues. We have a few different factories globally, and we still have issues with, and we didn't have those last year, but now we have raw material issues. We have COVID issues still. We have obviously supply chain issues. I thought that was going to get better. It's gotten a little bit cheaper, but as far as getting containers here, but that said, it's going to be an issue through this year.
Yeah, you're not the only one, too. I had an interview earlier today, and they were talking about their jars were stuck off the Port of Los Angeles for a while.
I mean, it was last year, late last year, Q4 was probably the hardest we've had. We had maybe 10 containers just waiting outside of Long Beach for a very long time. So that's somewhat gone away, but we're just now seeing longer lead times on those containers, and hopefully the pricing will come down as well.
Yeah. How do you mitigate that? Do you have to find other suppliers, or how are you getting around it?
No, because I mean, to switch a supplier, it takes a long time. We have a lot of, for us at least, we've got a lot of products, raw materials that have to be tested because of the industry we're in. We're held to a different high standard as far as testing the content, what's in the fabrics, everything. So we're doing our best with our current supply chain. The one thing we are looking at is choosing different containers, different companies to bring stuff here. There's some things that are, we can easily do. We can easily check different pricing and get different quotes on the logistics part of it. But as far as the manufacturing part, we love our factories. We love who we work with, and I think if we switch right now, we're going to have the same issues, to be honest. So, we're just furthering our deepened relationships with our current beloved suppliers. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, let's jump into the e-commerce stuff. I want to know, you guys are e-commerce only. So what's the strategy this year? Like, what are you thinking about around e-commerce?
We relaunched, like I said, in 2019, but it took us about a year to look at the business and to say, how do we run a profitable business in this market? And we decided at that point to move it to direct to consumer only. And so there's only a handful, maybe 2, 3 companies that are in our space that are doing direct to consumer. Most other companies have retail stores, and they have boutique stores. They've got the majors, Nordstrom and Bloomingdale's, all the big ones. So our approach was a little bit different, and it was, but I think that, and it was pre-pandemic actually. We set it up this way, and it was actually, I don't want to say smart or lucky, but we did manage to get through. It was great timing, yeah, because what we did was we set up a business at that time to be remote. I mean, we have this mentality of, it doesn't matter how good or where you are. If you're good, we're going to hire you. So we've got people in Chicago, we've got people in Florida, we've got people here in LA. Doesn't matter. We've got a great team in Hong Kong. As long as we can communicate, as long as we can do these, video conference calls, as long as, it's not a huge time zone issue, we want to hire you and bring you on. So we set it up using that, using Microsoft Teams, using all the, online softwares that we can. And we have a very small office. Our goal is actually not to have an office. We do have a small one here. But it was set up perfectly for COVID because everybody was working at home anyway. And we had all this software and everything and the systems in order. So we got lucky. And so doing direct to consumer only was a good time as well because people were going online to shop. So how that has changed though, we still, being in this industry, we still are hearing our customers and they need to feel the product. So they need to actually roll the product around or kick the tires. And so what we've decided to do is choose a partner. And so this year, and really recently actually, we partnered with Nordstrom. So we have their top doors right now. You can walk into there, and it's right now. I mean, it really happened this last week, where you can go in and roll around a stroller, move it, fold it, feel it, and see if it's right for you. And so we're working with them, and so I would say it's about 5% of business. So yeah, 95%. It's not 100% direct to consumer, but it is mostly direct to consumer. Yeah.
Yeah, very nearly. So what was behind, I guess, the relaunch to go just e-commerce direct to consumer and then do, add? Are you thinking you're going to add more retail partners later, or?
Yeah, that's a good question. We're not opposed to it. Our margins are built for direct to consumer to make, we have expensive items. There's no doubt. And, but at the same time, that was when we were running the early numbers. We said the only way to do this was to be primarily direct to consumer so that we can actually keep our prices low. And people would laugh if they look at our prices that they're low, but they are compared to how much they cost to make. And they're really, the raw materials we use for it are high end. So it is, our main goal is not to be in stores, not to be in boutiques. We've been asked to do that quite a bit. We love the approach of that, but we just can't make that a primary goal right now. So I think in the future, what we'll do is we'll kind of address it store by store. If we do want to pick up another partner, like a Nordstrom or similar to Nordstrom, high end, where moms are coming, and it's more of a chain model. That's an approach. The other approach is to actually potentially open up our own stores. And I actually think people are going to be going back to stores, not at the same level, the same rate, but people want to go back. People want to shop. They want the experience. I personally don't care. I mean, I could buy things online all day, but there's a lot of people that want to be, serviced and again, kick the tires on these things. So I think a goal for us is actually to open up some key locations in LA or New York or Seattle, Texas, our hot markets, Chicago. So that's on the list. So I would say in a few years we might have these pop-ups